The sages draw a parallel between the word Eicha in the Megillah that we'll be reading on Tisha B'Av and the Eicha in this week's Parsha, which we read just before Tisha B'Av. The Eicha of Tisha B'Av is Eicha Yoshva Badad. How does she sit alone, the city that was teeming with people? The Prophet laments the loss of the Yerushalayim that used to be, the Yerushalayim that was full of people, was beautiful buildings, glorious buildings, a glorious nation. And now that city is like a lone and broken widow. She has no husband, she has no children, she has no home, she has no food. She's totally desolate, totally starving, totally alone. That is what Yerushalayim of the destruction resembles. At the same time, the Parsha is a lamentation of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, shortly after he brought the Torah down to the Jewish people, so he sat down to judge the people. And the people came, but to his disappointment, the questions they brought to Moshe Rabbeinu were all about petty issues, quarrels with their neighbors, quarreling about small possessions. And his lamentation is, how can I bear this nation who are so burdensome, quarrelsome, even heretic? When am I going to teach them the great vision of the Jewish people? When am I going to show them the way of living an ideal Jewish life, striving for spiritual heights? That is his lamentation. It's for us to connect the two. We have to see that if we really want the renewal of the Jewish dream, of the Torah dream, the glory of the Jewish people, returned from their exile, reunited in Yerushalayim rebuilt, with the divine presence dwelling in our midst, and with the spirituality that all of that meant, the glory of living a Torah lifestyle. It's for us to leave our petty concerns, our personal petty worries, and to cling instead to the great Jewish dream. We have to see it again. We have to see what a privilege it is to live in this world, to serve Hashem with Torah, with study of Torah, and with the performance of mitzvahs and chesed, and that through that we can be glorious people, living a great, glorious lives, a beautiful, beautiful lives that are an example to all of the nations of the world, and which will bring and which will restore the temple and the divine presence, the presence of the divine, the presence of Hashem, into our hearts and into the midst of our nation.